Ladies and gentlemen, this is a picture that I looked up on Twitter that's from New Mexico. They caught a real leprechaun or some type of creature.
Man, grand rising to the collective. Y'all know we back with another banger, another reaction. I appreciate everybody who been tapping in, running up, and 7-up. If you new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7. And this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps Collective grow, helps Collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I appreciate you if you're watching on your TV, whatever the case is. I wish it was smooth 7 as well. Might be a trigger warning or 2. I hope not. But before we get going, I had to shout out Bella. Seen Jabrina Jones asked me to go ahead and shout you out. Shout out to Bella. I also want to give a shout out to Patricia Carter. Your husband Albert Carter asked me to give you a shout out. And last but not least, shout out to Harlem, man. P-Hound Jetland 2479. Shout out to you too, bro. Shout out to Harlem again. I appreciate all y'all. I appreciate all the love and support. I love doing these videos, man. I'd rather be nowhere else but here with y'all. So thank you again. But y'all know what it is. Let's get straight to the video, man. Let's go.
Okay, I feel like no one is going to believe this, but there was a legit tornado in Sacramento this morning. I happened to miss it because I was in Folsom at the time, but apparently there was an actual tornado that hit down. There's like trees all over the roads that got knocked down, fences got knocked down. There's a lot of property damage. I haven't heard of anyone actually getting injured or hurt at all, but never thought I would be saying that there was a tornado. Living in California, like that's just not a thing here. Earthquakes happen all the time. They're like no big deal, but tornadoes? What is happening?
Man, that shit was weird that day. Let me tell y'all about that day. So I'm chilling. I'm literally down. I'm right here. I'm editing the next video. It was sunny. It get dark. Wind started blowing. I thought I heard it raining, like drizzling. I'm like, what the? And then my phone go off. Mom calls me. I'm on the phone with her. I'm like, I was like, it's like, wait, raining out here. And she was like, it's raining. Mind you, Sac, we don't get rain around this time of the year. If ever. It's dark. It felt weird. I look, it say thunderstorms. It's lightning. It's thundering hard. Car alarms going off. Bro, it's not supposed to be doing this. I look up. I see people saying a tornado hit them. It felt like a tornado was coming or something. It did not feel right. That day, the weather was crazy. The weather, now Carmichael, like I said, where I'm at, I'm nowhere near those areas. I'm in the middle of nowhere. Let's put it like that. I'm more so in open field area, in the middle of nowhere. And if I felt that, my mom was in Carmichael, so she was at work. And when Carmichael got theirs, that's when I was like, is it raining? I said, is it raining yet? She was like, it's just starting to rain. And it looked crazy. And she's like, the wind and just kicked up out of nowhere. Then I look up a couple hours later, trees was falling everywhere. Like some had just ran through it. I don't know what the hell they did with the weather, but that shit wasn't normal. That wasn't normal. Y'all might get multiple different seasons in one day, but we don't get that, bro. Whatever they say it's going to be, that's what it typically is going to be the whole day. Now, they might say it ain't going to rain, and then it rained, but it is a cloudy day. But never like this where it's the summer. It's sunny. It's no cloud in the sky. Then all of a sudden there's a cloud in the sky. Today is cloudy. Weird shit, bro. Weird shit.
We're talking entire neighborhoods, but underground?
And the wild part, these people have no clue.
Seriously?
This whole thing supposedly kicked off back in the late 70s when nuclear tensions were peaking. Intelligence agencies secretly greenlit this classified defense initiative, basically a backup plan for humanity if things went nuclear up top. Their idea? Simple build, full-on towns underground, complete with roads, stores, schools, a mirror of normal society. But then they hit a problem: no people. And here's where it gets dark. They allegedly took hundreds of kids from orphanages, ones young enough to forget where they came from. They raised them below, told them the surface world was destroyed, and this was all that remained. But here's the kicker: they never stopped. Decades later, it's still running. A massive social experiment with thousands of people living beneath us, completely unaware the real world is just above their heads.
This is a theory, not a fact.
I think they did that to us.
So they just discovered a new type of crocodile or alligator, new crocodilian that is prehistoric, and this thing looks gnarly. All you gotta do is search up on TikTok new crocodile and you'll see it. Now, again, prehistoric, but the one thing that really shocked me about this thing is that we really don't have that many giant crocodiles or different species of crocodiles that we found prehistoric wise. The ones that we have, like the bones and stuff and the fossils, they look like the ones that we have now. Huge, at least for the most part. I'm being general here, but this thing, the new one, it looks like a crocodile. If like a crocodile was mixed with a pit bull, that's kind of what it looks like. It stands a little bit above land. Like when it's on land, its arms are far longer, so it kind of stretches itself out. And it's got crocodile-like face, but almost like hellhoundish a little bit, like almost like those wargs from Lord of the Rings, and huge front teeth and incisors. And I'm glad that this thing died out, because if we had those things running around now, like mixed along with the rest of our alligators and crocodiles, like those things would be running you down in the streets. Florida would not be a safe place to live. Even less safe than it is now.
Yeah, I gotta see this new crocodile he's speaking on.
So I have a confession to make. When I was pregnant with you, Kai, this was my era. I just came from Trinidad and Tobago. Biggie on the scene, Tupac on the scene, Lil Kim on the scene, Foxy on the scene. I'm in Brooklyn. The streets of Bed-Stuy is hot. I'm in love with Mace. I'm in love with Diddy, and I'm in love with...
Can you give me an example of a food that's...
You recognize?
Yes, sir. University of California, Riverside has already perfected the ability to put human beans into our lettuce right now. Also tomatoes has the ability to do that also for UC Berkeley. And then Big Tobacco, RJ Reynolds and stuff has perfected the ability to put a human back into tobacco products.
Chairman Clements?
And is that even legal to do in the state of Tennessee, to sell those with a vaccine in them?
You recognize?
Well, I'm not arguing that point. What I'm saying is there is no law deeming those that when you go into a grocery store, you should know as a consumer, this head of lettuce is a head of lettuce. The head of lettuce right next to it could contain a vaccine in it. All we're saying is if it does have the vaccine in it, make sure it's listed as a pharmaceutical so people can get the proper dosage.
You recognize?
Thank you. Well, my question is right now, can you walk into a grocery store and there be a head of lettuce for sale that has a vaccine in it? I don't think that's allowed under state law presently. And if it is, and you have to list it as a pharmaceutical, are we going to then have Walgreens pharmacists with a refrigerated section? I mean, how's this going to play out?
You recognize?
Thank you. This is more of a consumer protection bill right here, is to make sure that if you're going in to buy tomatoes and there's a polio vaccine in there, that you are aware of what you're buying has a polio vaccine. The problem you have is if it's not treated as a pharmaceutical, being the size and difference between you and me, how many tomatoes do I have to eat to get the proper dosage versus how many tomatoes that you have to eat And if you eat too many, you get a overdose. If you eat too less, like we had in the cattle industry with aeromycin, we weren't dosing our cattle properly, and the horn flies were developing an immunity to it. If we don't have the proper dosage of it could lead to the efficacy of that not working anymore.
Including blood.
看到没有？就是在这个膀胱，下角球的左侧有和一个压虎，这么一个。发气，隔壁老师，咱们一块留一两发气。
Can anybody give me more information on bro? I'm talking about where he still practices at, information, all that shit. Please. If you can, spam it up. If it doesn't allow you, hit me in the email. Please. I'm asking. Let me know. I need to know his name. I need to know all that. They said it closing up one? Bro, they removed the seeds out of the watermelons. Of course, you got to go really looking for that. We know what that benefit does. This, like, bro, this gets closed in 01. Like, damn, my sister was only... Shit, I was 8 in 2001. That's crazy. My sister was just being born. That's wild. And then fast forward and then everybody starts catching that shit with, you know, can't say the word. But the clip before that, with them putting that shit into the vegetables and fruit, let's just say that shouldn't even be a conversation, bro. We shouldn't even have to have this talk about this. They should not even be discussing no shit like that. Food is food and pharmaceutical is pharmaceutical. Know the difference, bro. And now y'all doing too damn much when y'all turn around and put pharmaceuticals in food. Now you talk about we don't eat now or fast, bro. I wouldn't eat shit at all. I'm sorry if that shit became like a known law where they're able to do that and they do that more times than not. Keeping it a bug with y'all, yo. I'm not eating no more. I'd rather go up out of here starving. I'm so serious. Like there's no, I mean, damn. I'm tired of it, bro. I'm tired of it. Y'all let me know how y'all feeling.
All right, you guys, if you follow me, I told you these beasts were waking up. I told you they're waking up, all right? I told not only they're waking up, I told you she was feeding, and I also told you that the earthquakes would be ramping up. I told you she feeds through here. This is what causes all of your hurricanes coming this way. Usually come right through here because she's sucking, pulling wind across the water, okay? Now, look at all these earthquakes. If you follow me, you already know, I've showed you, this is the head, there's the nose, right there, mouth area, around to the cheek side of the head. Just think about a snake, you guys, all right? Coming up through here, and I told you it runs up here, runs through here. You're gonna, right here, Denver, all of this is, you're gonna have earthquakes running right along here, okay? And I told you all that you're gonna have more running along here throughout the belly of the beast. because I found this thing by finding the digestive tract of it. All right, more earthquakes. I told you all. This is the tail. All right, tail comes out in the Bering Sea. Bering. I told you all that she was having bearing. All right, are y'all keeping up? Birthing pains. Are you guys keeping up? This is the cloaca, and I told you the last time, I believe she had pushed them out, and they are over here. All right, and this is why Japan always has the Godzilla movies, because they are close to Japan. When they come out, that's more than likely where they're going to go. They're going to call it an attack. And not only that, here's Daddy sitting right here. All right, there's his cheek around to the side of his mouth, and he goes right through here. This one feeds through here right beside Taiwan. All right, you'll always get typhoons there when this one feeds. And those typhoons will start and work their way right through here, similar to hurricanes. All right. So, now let's get around to Afghanistan. Heard that Afghanistan had a 6.0 earthquake, and a lot of people had. That's a 5.2 in Afghanistan right there. Here's another. Everywhere you're seeing earthquakes, people, it is a live being. All right. For those of you that just followed me and found out that Africa is the head, literal head of Goliath. If not, man, just Google Detta and Goliath, David and Goliath, and you'll see this was an amazing find. You got to remember, in the Bible, Goliath was hit in the head by a stone that broke through his skull. All right. David hit him with a stone. And after he hit him with a stone, he chopped off his head. All right. And if you look down here, here's the eye, forehead. Go read it. It says it hit him in the forehead with a stone and it penetrated. All right. Forehead. This is where the eye was right here. His eye socket. All right. Nose, lips, chin. And I told you all when I first found out that Africa was a skull that this is the carotid artery in your throat, in your neck. You know, somebody hit it, it's over for you. Your jugular. All right. And I said, man, whatever did this to this being right here had to cut his head off or rip his head off. Once again, go to the story of David and Goliath and you'll see. And I'll touch on this too right here where you can see the green. All right. Where green usually grows is hair. And up here, it's dry. There's no hair, which more than likely means that this being had a George Jefferson, hair around the sides, nothing around the rest of the skull, because he was already going bald. That's why nothing grows here. Right here, still had hair. All right, down his face, still had hair around to his beard. Still had hair. All right, not only that, I also told you all that your diamonds come from the teeth of this. Diamonds are mostly found in Botswana. All right, and Botswana, right there. Look, you see that white? Let me show you. Look at that. All right, I told you, there's the nose. There's a lip. All right. So in this lip, this would be the mouth. Botswana, teeth. Nambia, teeth. Wisdom teeth back here on the jawline. Go and check and see where you find your diamonds at in Africa, people. Now, I've also taught you that wherever the earthquakes are, is where these serpents are moving. Like that one, you guys remember, the first Levi that really brought me out to the world, and whenever I started explaining about this one. But also when he wakens, earthquakes, all right, earthquakes. This is the other one up here. Everywhere there's earthquakes around the ring of fire, it is life. It is a serpent of some sort that is alive. Now, if you look at Africa, there are no earthquakes. You don't hear about earthquakes in Africa. There are none. There are no major mountain ranges like that in Africa. All right. Africa is the head of Goliath. Nothing's alive there. You can't even get good energy there because it's dead. It's dead. All right. This is why Africa has the least energy and the most problems, because there is no life to sustain life. All right. Now, when you come over here, Now, the most energy from these beings, any being, is going to be around the heart area. And if you go and look up the anatomy of a serpent, you'll see after the neck, you'll end up in the area around the heart, all right, which is around Nevada, area 51. You'll end up in the area of the belly, which is the belly of the beast. You can clearly see here how fat that is, where she eats at. All right, that's why that is so fat in that area and in this area. Just go and feed a snake, and you'll see how your snake plumps up where the food sits. All right, that's what you have right here. And this one runs right along there, all the way up through the Yukon, all the way out into the Bering Sea. All right, Bering, women bearing what? Babies. All right. And I told you all again, as long as this is frozen, she's not going to move. But we know Alaska is thawing out. That's why they were evacuating Juneau, because the glaciers are starting to melt. And once they all melt, she will be able to move some more. And I'm going to tell you now, this tail will go upward. That is the only direction it can work. It will work itself upward. She's not going to close it back down to bring it this way. If she try to close it down this way, it will swing a tidal wave beyond belief towards us. And that is very possible if she wanted to clean herself and rid herself of things on this side. She could indeed swing that tail this way to throw that water across her to clean herself off. I am going to warn the humans right now. I am going to warn the humans right now. All right. After I learned what I learned about Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the Naga serpents, and I show you the serpent in Japan. I just pointed it out. I told you that was dad. All right. You want to call him Godzilla? Call him that. Nagasaki is on his eye. Hiroshima is on his eye. So I'm going to go out on a limb and tell you, since this one is moving, here is the eye of it. So whenever you all start to see that they're bringing ships towards Venezuela, Colombia, or in the Caribbean Sea, if they start setting up nuclear warships in this area, I'm letting you know now that this is what's going to get bombed. All right. And I am also going to warn the humans that have this messed up thought in their head that they are going to nuke the eye of this. If you blow this eye and you hurt this creature, you're going to cause more damage than just letting the creature stay there and do what it do. All right. If you blow this eye, this area, I'm telling you, Venezuela, if y'all start to see an influx of ships, nuclear powered ships, submarines, anything towards Venezuela, this is the area that's going to be blown to pieces. I lied to you not, because Nagasaki is on the eye of the other one in Japan, and I'm sure that's what they did to it to slow it down whenever it started moving again. Now, I'm warning all world governments, if you blow this creature's eye, because you can't penetrate shit else, the only thing that it can do to hurt them is blind them. When you blind them, I'm just letting you know that you're going to put everyone, all right, everyone from here to Alaska in critical danger. All right. Whenever that happens, you will make this creature do what it normally does. They move slow like snakes. Snakes do not move fast unless they are startled or have to strike. And once you blow that up in his eye, you can about guarantee that she's going to swing that tail and bring a tsunami beyond belief.
Shout out to Detta. Who remembers the first part of that when he's talking about the head of Goliath, Africa being the head? Once he shows it like that, I can speak for myself. I can't speak for nobody else. Once he shows it like that, bro, it's so hard to unsee it. I can see the whole head, the teeth, the nose. I can see it all. That shit's crazy. That's crazy. And we went over this before early in the channel where we talk about we're on the back of a snake. Now, do you think if he says if they blow the eye, do y'all think that's what causes the Doomsday map? Do you think that's what causes the Doomsday map? And based off what causes the Doomsday map is them hitting that eye and it just being a domino effect. The Cascadian mountain, the Cascadian fault line, the Madrid fault line, Shit, we got the San Andreas fault line. There's more if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. But do y'all think that's what causes the Doomsday map? Is that what causes all the fault lines to start snapping? And it be a domino effect from Alaska, Seattle's, Portland, Oregon's to California's, and wherever else y'all got these fault lines at, y'all let me know, man. Spam it up. Shout out to Detta. He got banned numerous times for this content on TikTok. That's wild shit.
Yeah, we got your face. We got your face. Don't be trying to run.
You just hit her. You just hit her.
What's up?
You hit her.
What's up? What's up?
You just hit her. You just hit her. You just hit us. Y'all just came out in the middle of the street. Y'all just came out in the middle of the street. No, please don't do it. You just came out in the middle of the street. No, please. No, look. Listen. You just came out in the middle of the street. Listen. You can get our information. Just give us a second.
You hit.
Okay, just give us a second. Listen.
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to.
Ladies and gentle people, on today's episode of Me Nah Do This. This is actually not a bad one, you know. You know how this works? The scale 1 to 10, 10 being Me Nah Do This. This is actually like a 4. I know that might sound crazy, but I do this. This no look, you know. I mean, I don't say the black people here, you know, but you know what I mean? This is in Laos, so maybe, you know, black people does not travel into Laos like that, you know. But I wanna do this. This don't look that.
CIA, which was called the OSS in the Second World War. CIA originally, the OSS was originally founded by men who were members of an order called the Knights of Malta. It is a Roman secret society of powerful Freemasons who have operated in Europe for many, many hundreds of years. The Knights of Malta, along with the kindred orders like the Knights Templars, who were the international bankers in Switzerland. This is why Switzerland's never in any war, because this is where the Templars call home. This is the international banking. You don't mess where the boss lives. So I think that there's something going on here very big.
Do you have any idea what that is?
Yes, I certainly do. I haven't spent 40 years with this subject not to know.
Shout out to the collective. Somebody sent me something to the P.O. box. It was some documents, and Knights of Templar was in there. Knights of Malta, I don't think it was in there. It might have been. I haven't touched all of it. I'm still overlooking some of it, but that's another rabbit hole. Y'all let me know if that's something y'all want to take. It makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense.
What happens to you while you sleep? Your body rests, but your consciousness travels and your mind stays fully active. Where does it go? Very few people know the answer, but over the centuries, spiritual traditions and scientific research have been shedding light on this mystery. What I'm about to reveal to you could change your perspective on sleep and the very nature of consciousness forever. If you've ever had a dream so real it felt like another life, share it in the comments. These experiences can reveal a lot about the mysteries of consciousness. Sleep has always been a puzzle for humanity. Since ancient times, cultures around the world believed that when we sleep, the soul detaches from the body and travels to other realms. In ancient Egypt, dreams were seen as messages from the gods. In Greece, philosophers like Plato spoke of the soul accessing higher realities during rest. Today we know that sleep is essential for the brain and memory to function, but there's something much deeper happening. During certain stages of sleep, brain activity behaves similarly to deep meditation states and even near-death experiences. Studies show that in this state, our perception of time and reality completely changes. But here's the thing. If consciousness were just a product of the brain, why do so many people report lucid experiences, spiritual encounters, and visions that defy logic during sleep? Are they just illusions? Or is something real happening? The answer may lie in a phenomenon few people know about, the journey of consciousness. The detachment from the physical body is a fascinating process that happens every night, but few people truly realize what's going on. When you sleep, your body enters a deep resting state, your brain frequency slows down, and your perception of the physical world dissolves. But does that mean your consciousness also shuts off? The answer is no. In fact, while your body rests, your mind remains active, operating on levels that science is still struggling to understand. During sleep, we go through different stages, and it's in the REM, rapid eye movement state, that the most vivid dreams and the most intriguing experiences happen. But there's something beyond that. Research from the Monroe Institute and scientists like Dr. Charles Tart suggests that in this state, consciousness can literally detach from the physical body and access other dimensions of reality. This phenomenon is known as astral projection or out-of-body experience, OBE.
I got so much, man.
That when they tested the orangutan, they found out he only had 3 DNA series. They found that the gorilla has 4 DNA series, but he's a little smarter than the orangutan. They tested the chimpanzee, which is an ape, and found that he had 5 DNA series. Then they went into Europe and tested the DNA series of the English, the French, the German, the Spanish, the Russians, and found they had 6 DNA series because they tested 116 different human groups. All of them, all over the world, have 6. Then they came to Africa, found out that the African people have 9 DNA series. Now it's answered this age-old question. How can a people survive being told they're nothing for 400 years? Never allowed to learn that they came from beautiful cities and told they came from a jungle. How could a people survive? How can a people become champions in everything they touch? Because they have 9 DNA series, while the rest of the world has only 6.
What's good, everybody? It's Energy. Listen, I'm about to put you guys on some game. I'm about to end the stuff people say about people eating Soylent Green. If you don't know what Soylent Green is, go ahead, read about it, learn about it. It's not real. We're not eating Soylent Green. But a lot of people are saying, how do we have hamburger meat and all types of meat in the world, in restaurants, fast foods, grocery stores, etc., right? People are saying we don't have enough cows to produce all that meat. Okay, so I help out at my buddy's butcher shop every once in a while. Let me tell you what this is. Grocery stores and butcher shops don't allow meat to go to waste. We don't just throw it out because it's out of date, right? It's sold to a third party. What does the third party do? They process the meat. Almost every grocery store and butcher shop does this. It gets separated, it gets processed through a third party. So all those cows that people are saying we don't have enough of, that meat's going to really good grocery stores, it's going to butcher shops, it's going to really good restaurants. Now with this meat here, when you pull up to McDonald's or Taco Bell or Burger King or Wendy's, this is where that meat's coming from. It's processed and it's made out of scrap meat. There's a reason why these buckets are full of meat. It's not because we throw them in the dumpster. It's because it's sold to a third party and they process the food. So don't worry, it's not Soylent Green we're eating. It's processed meats from a third party. We have plenty of cows here in the world to go around and feed everybody. I just wanted to put an end to that debate. I'm tired of hearing about it. I figured I'd come out and let you guys know exactly what's happening. When you go to a restaurant, you're eating good quality cow. When you go to fast foods, you're eating processed meat from this stuff. Salute, I'm out. Thanks for watching. Share the video. Much love.
Yeah, share the video and ask these questions. Why we go over the caskets, bro? Why let's talk about the caskets. Why they keep getting shipped in and shipped out as if they just putting new people in them and the people going missing? Where the people going? We can talk about organs. And we can talk about the meat. Why the hell would they make a movie and it not be real, but they made movies about other shit that end up turning out to be real? Bro, none of what he said make any sense. There's enough cows for us all to eat. What about the chickens? There's enough chickens for us all to eat. All as much as they pumping chicken out of Popeyes, bro. You mean to tell me them is all real ass chickens? Come on. Animals, bears, and dogs don't even want to touch their hamburgers from McDonald's, and that's real meat. Man, let me watch my language. How in the hell is it okay to mix meat all together like that? When you cooking, bro, you barbecuing, you making any form of meat, you never let the meat touch each other if they ain't cooked. And even when they cooked, I still don't like them to touch each other. Hell, I don't even like eating two different types of meats if that's the case. If we eating hamburger or we eating beef, we stand with beef. If we eating chicken, bro, we stand with chicken. Pork is always out. Turkey, I don't even like the way them shits look when they walking around, so I don't even want to touch and eat one of them shits. And the beef, I really try to stay away from. Chicken, the only thing, then and it's getting to a point where I'm starting to stay away from that. So it's like, bro, you're not even supposed to let them things touch. How is that okay? Who paying this dude? What side is he really on here? Because everything he said just contradict everything we have watched previous. Even if we wasn't taking the Soylent Green rabbit hole, like I said, the caskets. Do y'all remember the dude saying he works on caskets and they come back recycled? He changes the painting on them, but the numbers and serial numbers is the same. Let me know. Let me know. I gotta disagree with this clip. I have to, y'all. Spam up y'all thoughts, man. Let me know I ain't by myself with this one.
One of the biggest limiting beliefs is that, like, you even need to have streams of income in order to experience your heart's desire. Like, real shit. This is gonna go over most people's heads. Most people can't even fathom what I'm saying. Like, what if you really didn't even need any income? Like, what if you could just experience having the home of your dreams, the apartment of your dreams, the car of your dreams, the relationship of your dreams, being around the people, right, your soul tribe, and you didn't have to pay for it, like you didn't have to work for it? What if that was just your reality, like, and you just existed in that reality, right? Most people can't fathom that, but people in my collective, you're gonna know what I mean. Like, people like me are actively working and holding a frequency to call in a reality where I don't even have to try anymore. Me making these videos is a part of that vision too. Even goes with coaching. Like, I don't even consider myself a coach anymore. I just consider myself like a peer to people that are on my same frequency. Real shit. And I know there's an abundance of people in this world that might have material abundance and have an abundance of money that want to exchange that for my time or for my energy. And so if that is the truth, which it is, that's already been the case for me the past few months. If I'm continuing to hold that frequency and I'm learning how to create more space, create more energy inside my energy field to attract people and magnetize people that also feel and think and vibrate on the same frequency as me, it's inevitable. And so this all comes down to self-trust, but I'm learning how to trust myself now and not gaslight myself into thinking that I'm crazy when the natural state for someone like me is just limitless abundance. Like, you don't have to work for it. Like, that's one of the biggest lies we've been told. And I'm not talking about some woo-woo shit. Like, I'm very well read and I'm very deep into spiritual science, quantum physics, manifestation, laws of the universe, all these topics. Like I'm really deep in this shit, and I know what I'm talking about. And it's deeper than my ego and my brain. Like my intuition is very strong, and that is something that's very valuable in 2025. A lot of people are not connected to their higher self and their intuition, and people need guidance. People need help feeling better about themselves, not even making money, because a lot of people, and you might even identify as a person like this, you make good money. Like you have everything on paper that you thought you wanted, but you still don't feel good about your life. Like you still feel disconnected. You don't feel joy. You don't feel happy, right? Consistently, like it's not sustainable. And the world needs people like me. The world probably needs people like you to help raise specific soul's vibration. Like we're here to raise the collective consciousness one soul at a time. And because I know that now, it makes it easy for me to make these videos and show up authentically, because people need to hear what I'm saying. You need to hear what I'm saying right now, okay? And that's just facts. So what allows you to know this though is you have to really like learn and know who you really are. Like you can't move around life trying to fit in. Like you have to trust your intuition, you feel me? And that comes back down to mindfulness and meditation. Like this is what I do for a living now, right?
I always tell my sister, because I was told this, God don't make no mistakes. So however he made you, be that. Don't change for that. Don't change, because now what, you saying God made a mistake when he made you? When he made you who you was, so you gonna change what God made? That's how I look at things. Y'all let me know how y'all view it, but that's how I look at it. If y'all got a different angle, open me up to that.
So did y'all hear the story about the woman that went to sleep for 12 hours and lived a whole nother life for 7 years, and then started coming to one day after many glitches started happening in her new life, and came to a door where she heard her old voice, started remembering her old kids, everything, opened the door, and now she's back in her life. She's only been missing for 12 hours. But she has lived a 7-year life that she can remember. If y'all have not heard that story, go look at her story. Because I couldn't explain it to you all without sounding crazy. But that is exactly why I made that video telling y'all there's nothing here. I couldn't explain to y'all what exactly I was going through, but I was telling y'all there's nothing here. Mind you, a year or two before that, I made a video telling y'all, guys, I went somewhere and it's amazing. I think I went to heaven. I was telling y'all that. And then after I got off of that high horse of where I had been, y'all will remember me making videos like, nothing matters anymore. Nothing here makes sense. Value is not the same. Like things like that. I'm telling y'all. And I commented on the video when she was making the story, and I was like, why doesn't this ever happen to me? And God told me right there, because look what you do when I take you somewhere. Y'all, it's really hard once you understand that you can exist in more than one place. I'll just say that. Once you have cleared the knowledge that you actually exist in more than one place, and you can't explain how you've even made it to that level of understanding, this life is hard after that. Like, this life is hard after that.
This is what you could end up looking like if you eat some of the raw, frozen shrimp being sent to the United States by other countries. Now, let me tell you what I'm talking about. In late August, the FDA found that raw frozen shrimp from Indonesia was being sold in Walmart under the Walmart label called the Great Value label. If you eat it, how could you end up looking like the alien in the Alien? Because the shrimp was radioactive. I kid you not.
This shit just don't make no sense. Now, I made a joke about great value previously in a previous video, and I said I don't mean no. I didn't say this, but I should have said this. I don't mean no harm, because I do understand times be hard, and if that's all you got, and that's all, and you and your kids gotta eat, and the family gotta eat, I ain't passing no judgment. Do what you gotta do. We all, well, not all, because some people didn't come from the trenches, but I remember where I came from, so I understand. I understand. I get it. Do what you gotta do. I'm just talking shit. I'm just playing. Like, I'm serious, but I understand if that's all you got, man. Make sure the babies eat. But if you can do better, try. I challenge you to try to do better if you could, because that great value always got bullshit popping up. But who in the hell eating frozen raw shrimp? Because he said if you eat it frozen raw, bro. Who? Why? What? Great value? Come on, bro. Like, we got to be a little bit brighter here. We got to be brighter mentally. We got to be brighter. We can't be making these decisions. I can't see nobody eating that shit raw and frozen. Maybe, but I can't see that. What dishes do they even have if that was the case? Because the way he explained that was me taking it. You got to eat it frozen and raw in order to catch that shit. Because if you cook it, it should take out all the parasites. I don't know. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts. Radioactive. All this shit got something.
Why y'all ain't tell me it was a paranormal side of TikTok for Chicago? I have found my people, baby. It is so much paranormal activity in Chicago, it's not even funny. And it's not just from the gang violence and killings from that. No, it's more than that. Like, y'all gotta realize how many people died trying to actually build this city. Because you gotta remember, it was a swamp. The Irish and the Polish, baby, they had it rough building this bitch. They blood is everywhere. Okay? They was used and abused just as bad as the slaves in the South. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Hell, a lot of people don't realize Valentine's Day, as in February 14th, the I love you, you love me day, was made because of Al Capone and his rampage across Chicago and the Midwest. Chicago is soaked in blood, okay? Political or even regular schmegular people. It is soaked in blood. And one thing for sure and two things for certain, baby, the land, don't let it go. There are places in Chicago where you can actively feel the energy field change. Like, you could cross a block and you could feel the energy change. I got a story time for y'all, and it's about how I was chased down on 76 and Exchange by a ghost, and the police low-key saved me. It's like 2:30 in the morning, baby. When I tell you me and my old man was going at it at this time, baby, we was going at it. And if I stayed in that house, they was going to bring me out in handcuffs and him in a body bag, baby. I had to go. I tell myself, you know what? I'm going to just take one little whoop around the block. I'll be all right. Wrong. I was wrong. First and foremost, you don't go walking around outside in no place, in no part of this mother world at 2 o'clock in the morning, because that's the witching hour, okay? Spirits is going to get your ass. And me being me from the family that I'm from, spirits is gonna get my ass. So check this. I'm coming up 77th and Exchange. On the side of the block that I'm on, that's the same side of the block where the nursing home is, on 75th and Exchange. As soon as I crossed the corner from 77 to 76, it was an energy change. Like instant goosebumps. Hairs standing on end. Every part of my being is telling me, bitch, fight or flight. Run, ho, run. But I stay the course. I'm going down Exchange. I'm on 76. I'm halfway through with it. As I cross over to 75th, it gets cold. Okay? Get real cold. Halfway in the block, the lights in the metro station start going off. Over there on Exchange, the metro station stretch a whole block. So from the beginning, or the end of 76, 75th, all the way down to the point where 75th and 74th touch, that's one long-ass metro station. Starting from down there at 76, baby, you could hear them lights as if it was a movie. You could hear the lights turning off section by section. And then the street lights started following it. I want to scream. I can't. I want to run. I can't. The lights turning off is almost to me. And finally, something unlocked my feet for me to move. So now I'm walking again. I get to the corner of 75th and Exchange. This is where one side got the nursing home. Across from that got the currency exchange. Across from that, across the tracks, is the restaurant. Across the street from that is the liquor store. Y'all know where I'm at? Okay, good. Because in that intersection where it's always lights, no matter if it's on a building, on the street, or on Metro, all that shit turned the off. The only thing that was lit up was the sign to the nursing home. Y'all, oh my God. Either I'm finna die or I'm finna get possessed. I just know it. I just know it. Glory be to God, out of nowhere, a police officer just turned on the lights. They sitting in the driveway of the nursing home. He get on the megaphone. He say, "What you doing out here this late, Miss Lady?" "Oh, Lord. Oh, hallelujah, bitch. Servant, protect. Take me home. Take me home." That man say, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" I said, "I don't know what is wrong, but the lights is going off. It's cold as hell. Take me home. Put servant, protect, bitch. Send me home." The driving cop is a white cop. The passenger cop is a black cop. He trying to calm me down. It ain't working. The white cop say, "Hey, bro, I ain't got time for this shit. I'm finna get another detail." "I'm sorry, has this happened before?" He say, "Yeah, this the third time in a row. I ain't got time for this shit. It's weird shit happening in my house now. Hell to the no. Please do your job and take me home. Baby, I am paying your salary. Take me home. Take me home, servant, protect. Take me home." As soon as I got into the squad car, I didn't kid you not, every light in the intersection came back on. Oh, Lord. The ghost tried to get me, y'all. The black cop say, "Oh, hell no. Hurry up. Where she live at?" I ain't never been so happy to walk into my goddamn apartment. Never in my life. When I tell you, I walked in that kitchen, I grabbed some pure olive oil, and baby, y'all got the chanting, throwing oil on the goddamn door. I don't know what's out there, but it got to stay out there. It's some crazy paranormal shit that happened in Chicago. I got stories on stories on stories on stories, because I be somewhere everywhere in this city all the time, baby. Whew. If y'all want another one, let me know.
A man named Kyle emails and says that he thinks that he and his girlfriend are living in different timelines. This story's strange, it's spooky, it's eerie. I don't really know what's going on with it, but I'm going to tell you what he said. In 2022, he and his girlfriend met at a Halloween party. He was dressed as a vampire. She was like a friend of a friend. They start talking. He's 30, she's 28 when they meet, okay? And they're both in the professional fields. He works for a large bank chain. She works in healthcare. And they're both still working in their respective jobs, by the way. They bonded initially over their mutual love of this one video game, and also they both really like trying new restaurants. Nothing strange happens for a long time until about a year after they're dating, they decide they're going to take a trip to New York. So they go to New York City, and on the third day they're there, which was the last day, they're approached by this man who looks maybe homeless, maybe like a street vendor, starving artist type, and he's pulling a wagon of what looks like hand-woven baskets, and he asks them if they want to buy a basket, and they're like, "No, thank you," and they both politely decline. And this man grabs one of the baskets and presses it up to like the girlfriend, and she's kind of uncomfortable because he's like pressing this basket into her hands, and he's like, "No, I just feel like you have to have this one. You have to have it." And Kyle thinks this is a scam. If they give you something for free, then you'll feel obligated to give them money, and he like doesn't want to communicate this to his girlfriend, obviously, because the guy's standing right there, but she ends up giving him $5, and he's like, "You're gonna love this basket. It was made for you. Just so you know, whatever you put in it multiplies by 3. We're walking away, and the joke is made that she should put $100 in it, but she doesn't have $100 cash on her, so she ends up taking a pack of gum out of her purse and throwing this pack of gum in the basket. They go to an art museum, and then they get some food, and then they make it back to their hotel. This basket has been in her bag. I guess she's carrying a tote bag, and it's like a relatively small basket. And when she pulls the basket out when they're back at the hotel, she's like, "Oh, when did you manage to slip 2 more packs of gum in here?" Kyle's like, "I didn't slip any gum in there." And he thinks that she's playing a joke on them because there are now 3 packs of gum in this basket. And she thinks he's playing a joke on her. He thinks she's playing a joke. Like, it's, neither of them believe the other one, that the other one did not do it. And we still don't know if the girlfriend did it to this day, as Kyle says. Kyle said he brings up the basket incident because that's when all of this reality splitting seemed to start, because the next day they're at the airport, they're flying back to their city, and they're talking about what they're going to do on the plane and how to entertain themselves, and she wants to download Monopoly because she wants to play with him on the flight. They're downloading the app while they're waiting in the terminal, and she looks at it and she's like, "Oh, I always remember the Monopoly man having a monocle, like that's weird." And so then the conversation gets on to the Mandela effect, and he's surprised because she remembers everything differently than he remembers it. Wrong about some things, she's wrong about some things, but they just don't align. And that was really the catalyst moment when he realized their realities were just not syncing up. Memories are fickle, it's nothing strange enough to write home about, though. And so they continue their relationship. Things are going well until last Halloween. He's telling her, "Oh, I want to do something special. It's our anniversary coming up." She goes, "What are you talking about? It's not our anniversary." He's like, "Yeah, Halloween's our anniversary. That's when we met." He's like, "No, we met at this bar in their town, and I came up to you because you were reading Catcher in the Rye at the bar, and I asked you what you were reading." And he's like, "No." And she's like, "Yes, like I remember I thought you were cute. Like, how do you think we met at a Halloween party? Like, are you confusing someone?" And it actually starts a little fight because she thinks that he actually doesn't remember their anniversary. Timelines do kind of match up because she's claiming that they met in early November, and the bar that she's saying they met at is where he says that they went for the first time when they hung out. So he's like, no, we didn't meet there. That's where we first went. And she's like, no. And he's like, yes, like I met you through this mutual friend. And she's like, well, call her then. Like, if you think I met that person through you. So he calls this old mutual friend and he's like, hey, let's call his girlfriend Kaylee for the sake of the story. He's like, do you remember being with Kaylee at this Halloween party? And the friend's like, no, I met Kaylee through you. And he's like, what are you talking about? She's like, see, I told you we met at this bar. And he's like, I don't ever remember being at this bar and reading Catcher in the Rye. Like, I remember taking you there for our first date. They get over this little fight, and neither of them admit that the other one is right because, again, their relationship's good. This has never been settled, by the way, because no pictures exist from this Halloween party, apparently. Then enter in the baskets again, okay, because they decide they're finally going to move in together in this past April. And they're moving, they're packing everything up, they're unpacking the new apartment. He's in the living room, Kyle's in the kitchen, they're unpacking boxes. She goes, where do you want to put these baskets from New York? And he's like, oh, I don't know anywhere. They hadn't even really thought about this basket that they had gotten from this street artist or whatever in New York until like this day. So he comes in and he sees that she has 3 of the baskets on the little TV stand. She's using one for remotes, one for something else and whatever. But he only remembers them getting one. And he's like, where did you get these 2 other baskets? And she's like, we've always had these 3 baskets. Do you not remember the street vendor in New York? He's like, we only had one. It starts a whole another argument because she's saying, no, he gave us 3. Don't you remember? He said that whatever we put in these baskets, everything multiplies by 3. And he's like, yeah, but he gave us 1. You just remember it different because they bring up the gum. And he's like, yeah, well, the gum was there were 3 packs in 1 basket. She goes, no, there was 1 pack in 3 baskets. Kyle's like, okay, maybe I guess we did get 3 and I just didn't pay attention. And she goes on this tirade about how he needs to pay more attention to her and blah, blah, blah. And that's the main issue in their relationship. Well, fast forward a couple weeks ago, he says that the night before they had gone to this Mexican restaurant. It was after work one night. She wanted him to come with her to pick out a pair of shoes for her friend's wedding. So they go there and then they stopped at this Mexican restaurant that they had wanted to try on the way home. I was like, I drank a margarita. I got the fajitas, normal night. As they got home, they watched a show, they went to bed. The next day, she's at work. He's texting her on her lunch break, and he's like, what are you having for lunch? And then he brings up basically the fact that he liked that Mexican restaurant that they had gone to the night before. And she just texts him back like a question mark, like she questions the message. Kyle said he just had this bad feeling. Like he already knew what she was about to say just because of the frequency that it had happened. And she's like, Kyle, we didn't get Mexican last night. Like we got McDonald's because I didn't feel like staying out anymore after we went to the store. Like I just wanted to go home. Like we got Mexican food. Like I remember what I got. And like he goes on this whole text message and she just responds with a receipt of the McDonald's receipt, which I guess she still had in her purse. They had gone through the drive-thru. It was just like in and out. Kyle said at this point he is fully questioning his mental health, right? And he makes an appointment with both a psychologist and a regular medical doctor, and he has been undergoing testing, and everything so far has come back normal. He's not showing any signs of like early onset dementia. His MRI came back normal. He's like fully what the F is going on. He said he's not the only one with these false memories because it's also happened to her. Like he started documenting pictures of where they go so that when she says, oh, we didn't do that, he can be like, yes, we did. Give me any specific examples of what he's talking about here, but he says basically that any time that he has a picture to prove what he's saying is the right one, then like the realities seem to collapse to prove that he is right. It doesn't seem to be the only common denominator. Like it's happened to him too, and whenever he can prove it, reality seems to collapse to prove whatever the proof says. So they're both experiencing false memories, strange shifts in like timelines, and the kicker is he said that these instances and these experiences seem to be increasing in frequency. Like, I don't know if this is spooky enough, but I just want to hear feedback from people to hear if anybody else has ever experienced like this. But I do think it's spooky. That freaks me out. So let Kyle know your thoughts. He'll be in the comments. And if you have a spooky scary story, I would love to read it. And also, if I hear any updates about this one, I will let you know.
I ain't never heard of nothing like this. The only thing I could think of, nothing close to, nothing even similar to this exact story. But y'all think CERN messing with the timelines? I don't know, bro. Y'all spam it up. Let me know. That was a long one, but that one, at first she almost lost me for a second, but I stayed on board. I stayed on board. Y'all let me know what y'all feeling, man.
What the fuck is going on? I'm watching the trailer. Was like, I'm out. Se levantó la pinche traje.
The towers go? Well, once upon a time, there were 2 towers. Then they went away. So finding out what happened is the most important thing. Then you can determine how it happened, who was involved, why they did it. But what we're going to concentrate on, because it's the most important thing, is what happened. The main thing of what happened: the towers didn't burn up, nor did they slam to the ground. they turn into dust in midair. Yeah, you see this like a stick. Keep watching it. It turns to dust. And right after that, here it is from a slightly different angle. It'll just faint. Just faints and dustifies. Pretty neat trick. Remember, it peels away like a banana, leaves it exposed, blue sky, crisp edges. That's not dust settling on it. That's building 3. A lot of people overlook that building. And this is the remains of Tower 2, about the lobby size down there. To remind you of how big of a mass was there. And then it is gone. This picture was taken on 9/11. That material there is all that was left of that building. Where is all the debris? We're going to concentrate on the main body of Building 4 for a minute, because it's fascinating the way it just went missing. Where'd it go? Mind you, that was also the location where the top of Tower 2 was tipping over and it turned to dust. That's where it would have fallen. If the top 35 floors of Tower 2 had fallen to the ground, landed on Building 4, would it look like that? And looking at it directly on, here's what you would see. If you looked out of through the building across the street with binoculars, looked in, you could probably see what was left on someone's desk. And it also might remind you of the Pentagon. It's a clean slice. Another one of my terms is lather. Like lather in the shower, but you're not going to confuse that with what happened on 9/11. Didn't it look like that Alka-Seltzer effect that was lather kind of pouring out? Well, it turns out the building's lathered up too. From ground to roof. One side and one side only. This is Building 7, the north face. And we have busted out windows. We don't know what this is, but from ground to roof. And the wind that day was only like 8 miles per hour up there. It's very energized. If it was smoke from a fire inside, first of all, it wouldn't come out of the entire face of the building. It's not pushing out, it's being sucked out, it looks like. We don't need to know what caused it to just be able to observe what's happening. That does not look like a fire. So here we have what was left after the towers went away. Only buildings with a WTC prefix were destroyed that day. Building 6, it had all these cylindrical cutouts in it. Approximately the middle 50% of that building is missing. Building 5 had cylindrical cutouts in it. Some circular cutouts there. Building 7 went missing. The buildings on either side weren't really destroyed much. There's some stab wounds, we call it, some pieces of steel beam that went into this building, but essentially nothing happened to this building. The sidewalk in front of it didn't even get covered. Now we're looking back from between Building 4 and 5. There would be over 1 million tons of debris piled on the ground if those towers had slammed to the ground.
Now, let's hope that clip can stay in. I'm risking it for y'all. I'm praying because there was nothing going on that was extra in the video. Just the smoke. That's all you saw. What's y'all thoughts? What's y'all thoughts, man? If they did it once, they can do that shit again. This for entertainment purposes. None of what I said is true. It is all fake and made up. Let me know y'all thoughts though. But if it don't make it, that last clip was about 9/11.
I tell people this shit all the time. Nobody believe me. Now that it's actually surfacing around TikTok, I guess y'all will believe me now. I'm finna give y'all a story time on when I found out that Chicago actually got mermaids in it. Yes, nigga, mermaids. Come on. Hey, look, and please understand, if you not from Chicago, you probably won't understand. And this story probably gonna tweak you out a little bit. It's probably gonna tweak you out a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you, but come on. Before we start this story time, if you don't believe me, search up mermaids in your TikTok search bar. And you're gonna see this one lady describing it exactly how I'm finna damn to describe it. And the same exact. So boom, it's like 2 in the morning. 2 in the morning. It's me, one of my homies, and one of my other homies. We basically like down on a 3-man, because I got a chick, he got a chick, and then my other homie got. So we cool and really on some teenage shit. I'm probably like 16, 17 at the time. We chilling at the lake. We at Navy Pier. Hoodied on and shit. It's a vibe. Nice, you know, wind blowing. If you've been to Chicago, then you know we got some of the nicest fucking wind ever. We chilling, we vibing, then boom, out of nowhere, I hear little voices. Now we've been smoking, keep in mind, we've been smoking, we've been drinking, we've been doing all type of shit we weren't supposed to be outside doing. So we thinking that we tweaking. Now I tell my homie know what I'm hearing. They laugh, and you know how that shit ain't really, when you think about mermaids, you thinking about shit out of a cartoon or like a movie. But boom, I end up like, I bet I might be tweaking, I might be high, I might be drunk. It's 2 in the morning, I might be sleepy. I hear it again. I'm like, blood, I'm like, fool, be quiet. I'm like, you just gotta lower your voice, be quiet. It seems like every time we talk, they'll do it. They're like laugh. They making like these, it's hard to describe the laughs. It's kind of like a laugh, but it's kind of like a squeal, but it's so beautiful at the same time. The sound of it is just so beautiful. I'm like, fool, be quiet. Like every time we talk, it do it. It's real kind of faint, but if you be quiet enough, you can hear it. It's almost like a melody, like a real beautiful, like the sound is so beautiful, you can't help but not to like want to listen to it. Like, I don't know how to describe it. I was so in shock when I first heard it because it's so beautiful, but it's so strange and scary at the same exact time. All right, so me and the chick that I was with, we ended up taking a stroll. We had Navy Pier at the time. If you ever been to Chicago, ain't been to Chicago, if you ever go check out Navy Pier. We walking along the rails and boom, I hear it again. So in the midst of us having a conversation, in the middle of the conversation, it kind of dead it out. So we weren't saying nothing and we hear it. She was like, damn, you really want lying. I'm like, well, I ain't gonna lie, I get scared as hell. But I'm in my mind, I'm thinking like, shit, I'm a man, so I can't really get scared in front of the chick. Like, it was really my first day meeting her type shit. Our first day like vibing, kicking it type shit. I'm scared as hell, but I ain't finna act like I'm scared as hell. I want her to see I'm scared. Keep in mind, we teenagers. So I'm trying to be cool in front of her, right? So she hit me with a boom. Let's walk over there closer to the rail, closer to the water. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm in the streets. I'm thinking like a tough nigga, bro. You know, whole time I'm human. So I'm still scared, but I'm trying to show off to her like I'm tough type shit. So we walk over by the rail. We walk over by the rail and get close to the sound. It's weird because it's like the closer you get, the louder the sound get, but it's kind of like if you dropped your AirPod in the water. It's not working, but you still kind of hear that faint sound. It's like the closer you get to it, the louder the sound gets. So boom, we get close to the rail. Like I said, the sound get louder the closer you get. The further back you get, the smaller the sound is. It's weird as hell to explain. We get closer. Now I look over the rail, and out of nowhere, we see these it was four of these things like lighting up. It was kind of like 4 like UFOs in the water. So now we getting closer, right? We see the lights. We actually kind of seeing them, but we thinking we at Navy Pier. We thinking it's kind of like some shit they dropped in the water in case somebody like drowned or some shit. They'll know where to like find them or whatever. But that wasn't the case. I'm like, nah, this shit weird. Why is not in no other places in the water, right? It wasn't in no other place in the water, but right here, it was 4 of them, 3 or 4 of them. And one thing I can say about mermaids is they don't look like Disney. They don't look like how you think they look. They don't look like, they not pretty. They don't have hoop earrings and shit in. They ugly. They look evil. And they got a lot of eyeballs. That shit like to call my homie them over there. I call my homie, come here, me and the chick. Now she's scared. I walked to the rail by myself. She didn't walk to the rail. I walked up to the rail by myself. I get to call my homie them over there. Come here, come on this side. Cause they was on the other end. I'm calling them, come over here real quick. Come over here. They get over there. So I say, all right, folks, look, that's what we finna do. We finna go back to the other side, and we basically gonna try to play a mind game on them. And because I wanted them to pop back out so everybody wouldn't think I'm crazy about what I seen, because I know what I seen, you know. So as we walking back off to the other side to try to play this mind game with them, because I want to show my homie them that they ain't lying, you know, like this shit for real. As we walking, the singing got louder the further we got, and they was actually able to hear it this time, right? I'm like, all right, nigga, you still think I'm lying? After that, I ain't gonna lie, shit started getting crazy. But the shit, if y'all want part 2, comment in the comments right now. Let me know y'all want part 2 of this shit. This shit get wicked. Like, if you from Chicago and you been a Navy PEL, late nights, early, you know. Like, you know.
I hate that, bro. I want to hear part 2.
It's the elites versus us, right? And a lot of people don't know that the elites, I can't even say they any skin color gang. Them are aliens.
Listen,
They aliens. I don't think they got a skin color. They can't because they've been the same people here the whole time.
Are
They
you
never
saying that 'cause
changed.
they don't get on social
Come
media?
on, gang, stop playing. Walt Disney just froze himself, said wake him up in the future. Walt Disney right now, and you know it worked because they froze the baby 30 years ago. They just woke that baby up now. And that baby is a regular. You think I'm playing? Nigga, they woke a baby up from 30 years ago right fucking now. So this shit worked. You think I'm playing? He think I'm playing. Look it up. Look it up. Look it up. Look it up, gang. They woke a baby up. They froze a baby 30 years ago, and they woke him up now. Right?
Super baby.
That's super baby. The baby is 30 years old, but it's born at the same time. Stop playing on me. And like, listen, if you're watching this, a lot of people don't even know this, right? Y'all think that life and death y'all think that death is permanent, but death is not permanent. Death is not even death, right? They understand two things, right? See, back in the land of Kemet, I always talk about the land of Kemet because that's my favorite place, right? Back in the land of Kemet, they used to, in the pyramid, switch bodies, right? But they learned how to make you switch bodies without you knowing it.
Oh, they say he was born in 1994 and he was froze for over 31 years.
There you go.
And he just came out in July 2025.
You think I'm playing?
In Ohio.
In Ohio, right? And that's crazy. How can they do that? And he's still a baby now. But you know what I said? This is what I said. I said he's going to have Benjamin Button disease. As he get older, he's going to be turning older. Like when he's 30, he's going to be 60, right? And I think it's going to catch up with him. That's what I think. But if it don't, then everything got to be a trick.
Because
right?
he didn't use his body.
They got to be a trick, right? So how can you freeze something and then make it come alive 30 years later and it's the same age, right? Time can't be real. Age can't be real. Death can't be real. They stay putting in front of our face that nothing is real, right? It can't be. But you made a question, where are we, right? A lot of people think we're in a universe, but every time you shoot a rocket ship up, it go that way. So they never go to a universe. They never go out of space. I believe.
That's why I say the world flat.
Right. I believe this is what I believe. I believe it's atom, space, atom, space, atom, space, right? So they make it kind of like, make you believe it's a space, but it's a space between every atom, right? And I think that we end up with a frequency. Like I believe that the earth looks like a wave. It's just a wave, and it comes physical when we come in contact with it or when we view it. So when a person view it as round, it's round. When you view it as flat, it's flat. So you're right, your earth could be flat. It depends on how you view it.
Perception, man.
So you see these lifeguards right here, they're literally AI. So they're just programmed to save life, and they will bop their head just like this. And they don't see that we're looking at them because they're literally not real. Look at.
What the?
Just do the same old thing, and there's literally no one there because it's a robot. There's no life. So what are they moving for? It's fake. Okay. Yeah, it's fake. Just look at that. Tell me if that's a real person who's gonna be doing that. No. Exactly.
Hey, Chicago. Did y'all know that Lord Wacker Drive got a leprechaun, right? Hold on, let me show y'all something. Bam. Yup. And it's a troll under the bridge.
How he even know that crack was right there? Chicago, let me know, man. Y'all collected. Thank you. Y'all got me diving down hella different shit today. Thank you. Chicago, is this true? Any other states? Have y'all seen anything like? If so, I told y'all, send it to me. I've seen a lot of comments how to send me these clips. Instagram or email it to me. Email it to me. One of the two. Let me know, y'all.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All I gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else seen the leprechaun? Say yeah!
Eyewitnesses say the leprechaun only comes out at night. If you shine a light in its direction, it suddenly disappears. This amateur sketch resembles what many of you say the leprechaun looks like. Others find it hard to believe and have come up with their own theories and explanations.
Yeah, I can't even believe this made the news. They found some leprechauns in the hood. This magical event will take place in Mobile, Alabama in 2006. and the people would state that they seen these leprechauns in the trees. So you had everybody in the neighborhood searching high and low for this leprechaun. They figured that if they find a leprechaun, they will find a pot of gold as well.
For his encounter with the leprechaun, he suited up from head to toe.
This wars off smells right here. This is a special leprechaun flute, which has been passed down from thousands of years ago from my great-great-grandfather who was Irish. I just came to help out.
Others just came to get lucky in hopes a pot of gold may be buried under this tree.
I'm gonna run a backhoe and uproot that tree. I want to know where the gold is. I want the gold.
So a quick question for my people in Alabama. Did y'all ever find that leprechaun? Tell me what y'all think in the comments. Love and wholeness, family.
According to legend, this is an actual leprechaun that was captured in 2013. It was discovered at Carrigaffricka Castle in County Cork, Ireland. The translation is Castle on the Rock of the Fairy. The word Pika translates as ghost or fairy. The remains were taken to a specialist to be reassembled. It was kept a secret until photos were leaked. Do you think it's real?
Look, one of my biggest fears as a kid was watching the movie Leprechaun. And next time I bring, Mom's supposed to be on this channel. We're going to have to reschedule that. She'll be back. Next time she hop on, I'm going to have her explain to y'all like how afraid I was of that shit, bro. I was scared of the Leprechaun. As a kid, bro, that movie had me shook. Hey, that movie had me shook. But I'm going to just say, Mobile, Alabama. I seen y'all be in the comments. Shout out to Mobile. My grandfather born and raised in Mobile, Alabama. He tell me all about it. So shout out to y'all. Y'all got a special place in my heart. I'm going to have to come out there one time, see how it is. Just to see how my grandfather lived. See what he came from. I want to see his roots. But did y'all ever find a leprechaun? Let me know. Let me know. In Ireland, is that true? Is that real? Because I seen y'all be in the comments too. Shout out to Ireland. Let me know. I'm curious. But that used to scare me. I don't want to find no gold from no leprechaun. I'm going to just keep it a buck.
My grandma was from Ireland. And this is the box she left me.
Okay, so a ton of you are tagging me in this video for obvious reasons. Let's go ahead and take a look at the highlights and we'll get into what I think about it.
Grandma was from Ireland. And this is the box she left me. Stuff you get left by your grandma. Find Leprechaun. I've seen anything like this before in my life. Bottle of coins. My nana was into witchcraft. There was other stuff.
So as my followers, I'm sure know, the reason that I'm sharing this is because this is very similar to what happened to me up to the point of having inherited things from my grandmother, even the Ireland connection through Bridget that I talk about. Let me go ahead and show those who are unfamiliar. So about 2.5 years ago, I inherited a house from my estranged grandmother, and a lot of strange things happened, really culminating in me finding this chest, inside of which I found all kinds of weapons, different strange, seemingly esoteric items, a vampire hunter's kit, all the tools it seems for exorcism, as well as a infamous witch hunter's book called the Malleus Maleficarum. I also found other old weapons. Here you can see laid out basically everything that I've got. While there are certain things that aren't here and other things that have to be stored differently, you can see I've got a lot of stuff. It all has crazy history. It's all written about in these notes that you see, the journals. It's pretty strange. I talk about it all over my page. So what do I think about this? I don't know. It could be fake. You know, those bodies look pretty weird. It's just in a box. But this is pretty interesting too. You know, a lot of people say the same thing about me. So I don't know. I find it interesting, and I'm going to be keeping myself updated, and you guys as well. In the meantime, if you want to go through and look at some of the stuff I've been talking about, check one of my lives or just check out my page.
I definitely will be checking this page out. I'm real interested. I'm intrigued. Are y'all, man, collective? Let me know. Are y'all interested in this as well? He had he had a lot of different things set up. We taking that rabbit hole, y'all. Let me know if y'all agreeing with me. Come on, if y'all on board, let's get it going. Cause that right there, bro. That right there, hey. He had a whole vampire hunting kit. A whole witch hunting book. Like, what? Shit. Grandmama be on that shit, bro. She want all the smoke.
This is our warning, as scientists have dug up a world-ending supernatural violent creature coming out of hiding and being shown exactly as the biblical end time scriptures describe. Scientists from Ireland were terrified after they uncovered evidence of what heavily appeared to be a small supernatural creature that didn't match any genetic material from Earth, with the scientists leaving a heavy warning that these creatures have been watching us for a while and we need to repent. Eerie reports of people like two brothers cleaning up near the area this was found, only to go home and both be found motionless in the kitchen the next morning. To even when archaeologists were digging this up, one of them reported choking for no reason and feeling two small hands on their neck. Haunting biblical scriptures like 1 Enoch 10 mention supernatural creatures like these will descend and cause end times, and it's all starting right now with nowhere to run. And it gets worse, with so many of these reports being told. The European Habitats Directive has recognized leprechauns as a species, but this is all just speculative.
Europe, is this true? And also, they said that these mythical creatures is gonna cause the end times. Now I think it's a percentage of certain people on a totem pole that's gonna cause the end times. It's already pushing that type of shit. So don't blame. Again, let's not blame no other shit. Let's blame the real reason. Like, let's stop overlooking this.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a picture that I looked up on Twitter that's from New Mexico. They caught a real leprechaun or some type of creature that's in a tree, noticing the camera, looking right in it. This is a real
Collective, y'all came in rocking today. Y'all sent some fire. Y'all sent some fire ass clips, bro. I appreciate y'all. Y'all don't even know. Thank you. I enjoyed this rollout. I did. I enjoyed this rollout. This one was crazy. I thought when we went down the phase and the Fae Tribes and that rabbit hole, that was something. But I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Me being afraid of this shit as a kid, this is just like, I used to tell my moms this was real. I used to be like, man, leprechauns are real, Mom, I'm telling you. I used to be scared of them just because of the movie. And I just, yeah, I don't know, man. I was afraid of them. Now, not no more. It's not going. I'm not fearing nothing. But if it come my way, guess we gotta take it one way. It's fight or flight. It's a fight. It's a fight, man. It is what it is. However it goes, however it go. But I'm not gonna run. But y'all let me know how y'all feel. Let me know how y'all feel. Do y'all believe in them? Do y'all not? To people who from Ireland, to people who live there still, people in Europe, people out here in Chicago that they named. Is it real? Alabama, is it real? I'm curious. Y'all let me know. But y'all know we made it to the end of this. And if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so your notifications are on so you never miss an upload. So y'all know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7. And this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps Collective grow, helps Collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I appreciate y'all, Collective. Again, if you're watching on your TV, whatever the case is, I wish it was smooth 7. I say that because I know it's harder to comment and like the video when you watch it on your TV. I'm being mindful, so I still appreciate y'all. I do thank y'all, man. Again, I hope y'all having a smooth 7. But until I see y'all in the next one, y'all know what it is. We gone.
Ay, yeah, I just check my account. Sheesh, at the amount. You probably know